Hello and welcome to third grade. I am your teacher, Mr. Ritenour, and today is Earth Day. It's the 50th anniversary of the holiday that we celebrate our planet, and we are reminded of how delicate our planet is and how much we want to take care of it. So, before we dive into the academic part of the day, I want to show you a video of our very own Willow Parker.
Hi everybody, I'm going to show you some of my skills. Jumps. Back tuck, back aerial. Round up, back handspring. Forward roll. Front aerial.
Good.
Toe touch, back twist. Bye everybody, I miss you. Bye.
Wow, well done, Willow. That was fantastic. Thank you so much for sharing that and your amazing gymnastic skills. All right, so let's switch gears here and start off with some common sense. All right, so today's common sense lesson does not really apply to you right now because of the coronavirus shutdown, but whenever life does get back to normal, here's an important lesson for you, okay? So, the lesson is do not wear headphones in public places where people could be talking to you. It can be unsafe and disturbing to you or to others. Um, when you are in a public place, and what I mean by a public place is if you're like at a restaurant or you are shopping or you are, in a at the park pool and there's like other people around you, it's really important that you are able to hear in case other people need to talk to you, or if there's some kind of um, something goes wrong and you need to know. Keep those headphones off. You can do it. You can resist the urge to always have music or videos playing. Now, I'm not saying that you can't wear your headphones when you're out and about. I know for me, when I go for a run, I like to wear my headphones. If you're laughing right now because I don't go for runs very often, haha, sometimes I do. I'm starting to run more often now that we're on shutdown. Wearing headphones is fine as long as you're aware of what's around you. But whenever you're in a group of people, especially if you're at like a family gathering, all right, take the headphones off. Have a relationship with other people, all right? That's some common sense and some wisdom for you. Okay, let's finish our chapter 12 math review. So we're halfway through. Go get your books, pause it if you need to. We're on page 756. 756. And I just want to say that whenever we're done with this today, we'll be officially done with our math book, which means you guys have completed third grade math. Woohoo! And it would have been perfect timing because the math PSSAs would be this week. So, and I would have worked a little bit quicker and had you done last week. So, anyway, congratulations. Let's finish with a bang here. Look at this group of pattern blocks, okay? You've got let's just start by labeling them here. Jasper, the yellow one. What shape is that? Good, that's a hexagon. Evan, the orange one. Square. Ooh, how about the blue one? I like this. Let's see, whose turn? London. I know you want to say diamond, but don't. It's like a bus sat on a square, right? It's a rhombus. All right, how about the red one? Sofers? That's your standard old trapezoid. How about the white one? Bobby? Yeah, that's actually another rhombus. So anytime you see what you think is a diamond, chances are it's actually just a rhombus, okay? And the last one, Lucas, you've got the easy one, the three-sided shape. Good, the triangle. That's just a quick review for us as we get warmed up. Part A, sort the pattern blocks by sides. How many groups did you make? Explain how you sorted the shapes. So sides here. Let's see. We labeled all these already. We said there was one green triangle, so we have three sides. That's one group, three sides, triangles. We've got four sides, right? Four-sided shapes. So let me just cross off, I'll cross off our three-sided one. And now let's cross off all the four-sided ones. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4. That leaves one more group left. The hexagon is the 6 sides. So how many groups were there? There's 1, 2, 3. 3 different groups. So to answer our question, 3 groups. Explain how you sorted the shapes. 3 groups. And then you could put triangle, quad for quadrilateral, and hex for hexagon. Please abbreviate, boys and girls. No one's looking at this but you. All right, so as long as you understand, that's what counts. So 3 groups, triangles, quadrilaterals, and hexagons. All right, now for part B. Sort the pattern blocks by angles. How many groups did you make? The same exact thing, right? Because a triangle has 3 sides, but it also has 3 angles. A quadrilateral has 4 sides and also has 4 angles. And a hexagon has 6 sides and also has 6 angles. So let's just write same as part A. Okay, number 11. Teresa drew a quadrilateral. So instantly we're thinking how many sides? Quadrilateral. Patina. Quad means 4, right? I've seen you ride on a quad. 4 sides. And all 4 sides have to have equal length. Oh, this is important. No right angles. So, Cody, what type of quadrilateral has 4 equal sides but no right angles? If you look up at our pattern box, the blue shape, this one right here, is the example here. It's got 4 equal sides but no right angles. Do you remember what that was called? Not a diamond, but like a square set got sat on by a bus. It's a rhombus. All right, next page. Ray used a Venn diagram to short shapes. What label could she use for circle A? Well, let's just take a look here. This side on the right says polygons with all sides of equal length. The other side, couldn't we just say polygons with sides that aren't equal? Right? Let's do it. So, well, timeout, 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 timeout. Let's see. I didn't look at the middle. If I would have looked at the middle, and maybe you did, maybe you're smarter than Mr. R. This square belongs to both sides. What do we know about squares? And what do we know about all of these inside the blue? They all have something special. Look at their angle. Uh-huh. They all have at least a right angle. So we'll call this polygons with right angles. There we go. That would be the best answer for letter A. Whew, almost missed that one. Number 13, Collette drew lines to divide a rectangle into equal parts. Each represent 1/6 of the whole area. Her first line is shown. Draw lines to complete Colette's model. So we're trying to get how many different pieces, Fish? Good. How'd you know it was 6? Because the fraction, right? The denominator tells us the total number of pieces. So they've already split it, and you can trace over that line if you want. They've already split it into half. So what is half of 6? Peyton? Good, 3. So I need to now split the whole thing into 3 pieces. So maybe do something like this. All right, so now I've drawn Colette's model, and if you have a crayon or you just want to use your pencil, just shade in one of those pieces, and that is 1/6. Good job. 14. Brad drew a quadrilateral. Select the pairs of sides that appear to be parallel. So for those of you that have forgotten, this is parallel right here. Here's another example. 2 lines that will never cross each other. Those are parallel. So Jacob, just looking at that shape, are A and B parallel? So let me outline A and B. Are they parallel? No, right? Because right here they cross each other. Those are called intersecting lines. So erase A and B. Nope. How about B and D? So B is right here, Jacob. D is right there. Are they parallel? Yes, ma'am. I mean, sir. All right. Willow, the gymnast, the acrobat. C down here and A up here. Are those lines parallel? Do they run across from each other? Yes, they do. Good work, Willow. Last but not least, D and C, they form an angle right there, so they are not. They are not. Right, Emily? They are not parallel. They are what we call good job, Popovich. Intersecting. Now, when 2 lines meet, like this rectangle, when 2 lines meet at a right angle, they are no longer intersecting. What are they called, Michael? They're called perpendicular. Remember? All the way back from the beginning of this chapter. All right, number 15. Carson, give 2 reasons why this shape is not a polygon. All right, so reason number 1. It is not a polygon because, open or closed? What do you think, Carson? It's not a polygon because it is open. Polygons have to be closed. Look, I can sneak right in, get right inside that shape. The second reason, Wiley, does it have straight or curved side? Good, it has curved sides. A polygon has to have straight sides. So polygon, straight, closed. This shape is open and curved. The exact opposite of a polygon, although it does look kind of cool. It looks like if you stared at it for long enough. Everyone go ahead and just stare at it. See if, just keep staring, all right? You will bark like a dog when I snap my fingers. Stop barking, everyone. I was just joking. That's my hypnotism. All right, number 16. The triangle at the right has one angle greater than, we call that obtuse. Which statement describes the other angles? So let's first find the obtuse angle. So in purple, I'm going to highlight it. You can highlight it on your own paper. That is my obtuse angle. My other two angles, I'm going to highlight in yellow. They're both little. Little angles are called acute. So letter A. At least one is less than a right angle. True. More than one, actually. Two. One is a right angle. No, that's false. We don't see any right angles. Both are less than a right angle. True. We just said that. One is greater than a right angle. Well, actually, whoops. That is true. Oh, wait. No, because it's talking about the yellow one. So, no, that one's not true. All right, another confusing question. Try to trip up third graders. One of the reasons why I dislike Go Math. Ava drew a quadrilateral, so 4 sides, with 2 pairs of opposite sides that are parallel. That's just a fancy way of saying that she drew something that looks either like this, or maybe like this. The shape has at least 2 right angles. Draw a shape that Ava could have drawn. So at least 2 right angles. So these 2 are possible answers. She could have drawn a rectangle or a square, and that would meet the description for number 17. All right, last question. Crazy, right? Think about it. This is the last question of Go Math that you have until 4th grade. Crazy, right? You are getting so old. All right, so true or false for each description of this ray. Is it straight? Duh. Does it have 2 endpoints? No, it does not. It just has 1, right? This is only 1. The other side is an arrow. Is it part of a line? Well, kind of, yeah. Yeah, it is. Continues in one direction. It does. Not like the band, but it'll continue east forever. That's what that arrow means. There it is, folks. Yay, you did it. You finished our geometry unit. You finished Go Math. And now, starting, well, tomorrow, we are going to be doing 4th grade math to get you ready. Pretty cool. Well done. Okie doke. So, let me move us on here to the next topic. So, you know I love telling stories, and I love hearing good stories too. But do you know that there are multiple names that we give to stories that have been told over and over and over again, that have been passed down from your great 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 grandparents? There's all kinds of names for them, all right? So go ahead and, I know I can't hear you, but go ahead and throw out a name for a story that gets passed down over and over again. Maybe you said folktale? Or legend? A myth? Or a tall tale? These are all names for these kind of stories, all right? So like the legend of the Loch Ness Monster, all right? Or maybe Greek mythology, or Rumpelstiltskin is a folk tale. Or today I'm going to tell you a tall tale of Paul Bunyan. So one of my favorite genres to read is this genre, the legend genre. So let's talk about one of my favorite legends. He goes by the name of Paul Bunyan, and he was a giant lumberjack. And you see he's got this big blue ox. All right, so I'm just going to read you a few of the tall tales that surround Paul Bunyan. Okay, so first, Baby Paul. Imagine, if you can, the excitement that was caused by the birth of Paul Bunyan. It took 5 giant storks, you know, the birds that carry babies, working overtime to deliver him to his parents. He cut his teeth, so whenever babies start to get teeth, they call it cutting their teeth, on a peavy pole. So most of us cut our teeth on like a soft, you know, like squishy, maybe it's filled with water, piece of plastic. No, not him. He did it on a metal pole and grew so fast that after 1 week, he had to wear his father's clothes. So he's 1 week old and he fits into his dad's clothes. His lungs were so strong that he could empty a whole pond of frogs with one holler. So he shouts, "Wah!" In the whole pond. All the frogs jump out. They're so scared. See how this is a tall tale? Literally, because he's so tall. All right. Like I said, I love Paul Bunyan. We'll read a few more. Paul's Cradle. Paul's clothing was so large that they had to use wagon wheels, huge wagon wheels, for buttons. They used a lumber wagon drawn by a team of oxen as a baby carriage. When he outgrew, his parents put him on a raft off the coast of Maine. It is said that rocking in his sleep caused waves big enough that sunk ships. He would eat 40 bowls of porridge, that's like oatmeal, just to whet his appetite. So, like an appetizer, that would be 40 bowls for him. Oh, so when he was sleeping, you can see in this raft here, he would rock back and forth, and the waves that he created would cause ships to wreck. Paul Bunyan, the legend. Okay, this one's called Paul Bunyan and Babe the Blue Ox. As a child, Paul played with an axe and a saw like other children played with toys. On his first birthday, his father gave him a pet blue ox named Babe. Babe grew to be 7 axe handles and a plug of tobacco wide, just between the eyes, and as a snack would eat 30 bales of hay, wire and all. Paul and Babe were so large, the tracks that they made gallivanting around Minnesota filled up and made the 10,000 lakes. So Paul played with an axe and a saw because he's a lumberjack. Most kids have dogs. He had a big giant ox. All right, so let's see. Let's skip that tall tale. I'll skip that one too. These are all great though. Okay, last one. So Paul Bunyan had some friends. All right, they were called the Axemen, and every single one of them was named Elmer. Isn't that funny? Okay, Elmer the Axeman. The year of the 2 winters, it got so cold that the axemen let their beards grow full length. They wrapped their beards around them for warmth. In the spring, Paul cut all the beards with a large scythe. The whiskers were stacked like hay and later sold for making mattresses. Okay, boys and girls, that's where we'll stop with our legend of Paul Bunyan. But I wanted to read it to you because he's kind of a famous figure in American mythology. Did Paul Bunyan exist? Well, he might have, but if he did exist, was he really a giant? Probably not, right? Did he have a huge blue ox? Probably not. And that's what makes this story a legend. But they're fun to read and they make you laugh. And some of these stories even explain certain things, like the 10,000 lakes. So anyway, that's Paul Bunyan. So if you ever hear any references about Paul, you know he's a giant lumberjack with a big blue ox as a pet. All right, so next what we're going to do is we are going to talk about Earth Day for a little bit because it is the 50th anniversary, April 22nd. Earth Day is a holiday. It's not a holiday that like you usually get off of school or anything, but it's still a special day where everyone is just supposed to reflect on how they can treat the earth properly. So you know that I love the outdoors, and I am a big believer in everyone doing their part to keep our environment healthy and safe. I really get upset when I see people littering or, not choosing not to recycle when it's just as easy to recycle. So those are just two examples of ways you can help out the earth. So let's watch a video from my friend. He's not actually my friend. I just call him my friend. Um, from Mystery Science. I think you think I remember my friend better. His name. Is it Dave? I can't remember. But anyway, he's going to teach us a little bit about the Earth. And specifically, he's going to talk about how old the Earth is. So if you've ever wondered, how old is the Earth? Pay close attention because you are going to find out today. Doug, that's his name.
Hi, it's Doug. So behind where I live is this patch of dirt. I came out here recently after it had rained, and I noticed something lying on the ground. Right on top of the dirt was this round thing. I bent over and picked it up, then I cleaned it off, and that's when I realized that it's a nickel from the year 1927. It's almost 100 years old. It's not worth very much money, but it made me think about the fact that someone must have been standing in this exact spot nearly 100 years ago. Every place around us has been a place long before you or I were born. Someone named Anthony has a question related to this. Let's give him a call now.
Hi, Doug.
Hi, Anthony.
I have a question for you. How old is the Earth?
That's a great question. Before we tackle the hard challenge of figuring out how old our entire planet is, think of something more familiar first. How do you know how old you are? Well, you know your birthday and you use a calendar to count each year as it goes by. The problem is this doesn't work for counting how many years old the Earth is. Because the idea of counting years on a calendar isn't something we've always done. The calendar is something we invented, and we only started counting years once we invented it. In fact, looking at our calendar, you can see almost exactly how long we've been counting years. About 2,000 years of counting. That means there were lots of years before the invention of the calendar. Years that nobody kept track of. But what if I told you you don't need a calendar to keep track of years? There are other things you can find out in nature that keep track of years for us. You probably already even know about one of these things. Can you think of anything in nature that keeps track of years? Now would be a good time to pause the video and discuss.
Okay, boys and girls, can you think of something in nature that can keep track of time? I know that we would have seen this actually on our field trip to Lutherland if we were able to have that this year. So think about it.
Something like this, the rings inside a tree. Maybe you've heard about this before. Each ring inside a tree equals 1 year. You can count the rings inside a tree and find out how old that tree is. This works because as a tree grows, it creates a dark layer during late summer every year. Unfortunately, trees only create rings as long as they're alive. The oldest living trees, called bristlecone pines, have around 4,000 rings. So that means Earth is at least 4,000 years old. But what if Earth is older than the oldest tree? And surely it is, right? Is there anything besides trees that leaves behind some kind of layer every year? Something we could count? There is, in rock. It's not quite as obvious as tree rings, but scientists realize that the solid ground under our feet contains layers. Rock, like this big section of sandstone, started out as sand that got carried by a stream and laid down in layers, slowly, one layer at a time. It doesn't always make nice, neat light and dark layers the way a tree does. But by figuring out how long it takes for a layer of sandstone to form, scientists can measure how thick this rock is and then get a sense of how long ago this section of rock started to form. For example, say that it takes 100 years for this little 1-inch section of sandstone to get laid down by a river. If there's 100 feet of rock here, then scientists can do some simple math and realize it took over 100,000 years just for this section of rock to form. By adding up all the different layers of rock on Earth, scientists started to realize that the Earth is much, much older than just thousands of years old. Just by looking at layers of rock, scientists became convinced that the Earth must be at least millions of years old, maybe even more. Recently, scientists have discovered an even better way of figuring out how old the Earth might be. Using microscopes and advanced knowledge of something called radioactivity, scientists can break open rocks and find evidence that the Earth is even older than millions of years old. It's thousands of millions of years old, or in other words, billions. If you ask a scientist today, their current best estimate for the age of the Earth is 4,500 million years old, or 4.5 billion years. The subject of radioactivity is something you can choose to study in high school science. So in summary, we think that the Earth has been around for at least 4,500 million years. We think this based on evidence or clues we get from rocks. That's all for this week's question. Thanks, Anthony, for asking it. Before you vote on next week's question, we put together some amazing visuals that we'd love to show you. Take a look inside, or if you don't have time, you can skip straight to voting.
All right, what do you think? Should we look in the mystery box? Let's do it.
Number 5.
This person made an entire house out of used plastic bottles. What do you think is inside? Great question. Maybe a plastic Yeti. Huh, pretty cool. Some people have made entire rooms and furniture out of plastic too. Check out that couch. Yeah, that doesn't look comfortable, but at least if you spilled something, it would be easy to clean up.
Number 4.
These people are collecting bottles and taping them together. What do you think they're making? Huh. Oh my gosh, they made a boat that really works. The boy on the right did too. He has his pedals like a bike has to move it forward. That is awesome. That takes recycling to a whole nother level. I wonder if they can go fishing on that boat. You could try making a tiny plastic boat for your bathtub. Think like an inventor. What could your boat look like? Whoa, I can do that at home for Campbell. As soon as I'm done teaching today, I'm making a boat for my son and we're going to ride it in the bathtub. I'm going to make mine big out of a milk carton. Maybe you want to build something.
Number 3.
Some artists use plastic trash to make sculptures. Check out all the plastic bottles in this alligator. Wow, it looks real from far away, huh? Wonder how many plastic bottles it took. Whoa! This artist made an entire whale. It is made of more than just plastic bottles. What other plastic objects do you see? Huh. I see plastic bags like right around here, like wrapped together, maybe plastic wires. Wow, that's really cool, huh? Oh, those are straws. Its chin is made of plastic bags. What kind of animal could you make at home out of plastic? That would be fun too. Instead of a boat, you could make an animal. An adult could help you cut a plastic bottle and color it. You could make an animal planter, or even make a piggy bank. Whoa, look at that. That is super cool.
Number 2.
This plastic on the street looks like garbage, but it's actually an amazing work of art. What will happen? Take a guess. Ghosts? I don't know. What do you think? You ready? 3, 2, 1. Oh, it's a dog. When the plastic bags fill with air, they take the shape of an animal. It's like a balloon made of trash. That's funny. And then whenever it stops blowing, the dog goes back down. They're like wolves. They've got the fish in their mouth. Really cool. If you have a plastic bag, you can make an air monster. An adult can help you find a fan or a blow dryer to fill it with air. Oh, that looks cool. You just need a plastic bag and ask an adult to help you with a blow dryer. That looks like fun.
And now, the last one.
Here's another sculpture. What do you think it is? Hint, it's not just a fish. Huh, what do you think it is? I have a guess, but I don't want to spoil it. It's a recycling bin on the beach, and its name is Gobby. Plastic in oceans is a huge problem. An artist made it fun to clean up. That's cool. So when you see a plastic bottle on the wash up to shore, rather than just let it be, you pick it up and you throw it into Gobby. That's hilarious. I love that. Ugh, I hate this though. That giant trash vortex in the ocean. Terrible. How could you make your recycling bin more fun? Like Gobby. Here are some ideas. I like that. Those are cool. A recycling monster. All right. So we're not going to stick around for the
Now,
vote.
for the next episode.
Sorry. So thank you for doing that with me. I hope you enjoyed that. Let's pull out some of the highlights, okay? So the Earth, it's pretty darn old, right? In fact, scientists are saying that it's about 4.5 billion with a B years old. That's 4,500 million years the Earth has been around, and they are able to count those years by using radioactive measurements, like radiocarbon dating. Now, rocks are the reason how, not the reason, but they're the source of dating the Earth back because if you remember, the Earth is really just one giant big old rock. Um, you can use other methods of tracing back years as well. For instance, you can count rings in a fallen tree. Um, but for our lives, we're able to keep track of how long we've been around by using a calendar. Okay, boys and girls, well, I hope that maybe today, maybe sometime later this week, you have a chance to maybe make a recycling craft or you have the opportunity to recycle something and do your part to help keep our earth clean and healthy. Recycling is a great way to keep our planet healthy. There's a lot of trash that we make without the need to put plastic in it. So let's not overload our trash mountains. Let's keep things clean by recycling as much as possible. Let's make sure we're not littering and just do your little part to help keep the big world clean. All right, time to finish up with some grammar. So please get out your Simple Solutions book. We're on lesson 116. Okie dokers. So I'm going to go reverse order this time. I'm going to start with you, Wiley. Put a check mark next to the prefixes that mean not. So let's just go one at a time. Un. Does un mean not? Well, the best thing to do, Wiley, is to think of a word that has un in it. So how about unimportant? If something is unimportant, it means it is not important. So un means not. All right, Carson. How about dis? Think of a word with dis in it. How about disagree? Does disagree mean not agree? Yeah, it does. If you disagree with Lexi or with Clayton, it means you do not agree with them, right? So dis means not. How about im? Michael. Here's a word. If you are impatient. Yeah, it means not patient. So im definitely is a check. Good work, Michael. How about re? Willow, if you want to revisit a question, do you want to not visit the question? Re means again. Revisit means to visit again. Or to reapply your makeup means to put it on again, right? Okay, Emily, pre. Does pre mean not? Think about it. Preschool. Does preschool mean not school? No. Pre means before. So I want you to do this as well. It's good practice. I want you to write again next to re, and next to pre, I want you to write before. It's good to know what all of these prefixes mean. All right, thank you, Emily. Jacob, in. Let's see. If you are insane, it means you are not sane, right? Sane means you're thinking properly. So insane would be you're not thinking properly. So in means not. All right. You could have think incapable means not capable. Great work, boys and girls. Choose all of the prepositions. Use the help page. Well, we don't need to because you've got your teacher here helping you. So prepositions are words. Right over here. Words that. Oh, what's my computer doing? What just happened? Am I still recording? I think. I apologize right now. We're having some technical difficulties on my end. if you can still see me and hear me, prepositions are words that direct, okay? They're direction words. So let's look at the first one. We stopped by the gym and watched the basketball game. So that's a pretty long sentence. There's a lot of different parts of speech. Let's just let's get rid of the ones we already know for sure. Okay, so we already know we, that's a pronoun. Stopped is a verb. By, by, that's a direction. Where are we stopping? By. So let's circle by. That's a preposition. The, remember a, and the are all articles. Gym, gym is a place, so it's a noun. And, do you remember? And is a connecting word. Conjunction. Watched, that's another action, that's a verb. The, we've got another article, a, and the articles. Basketball, that's an adjective describing game. That's a thing, which is a noun. So the only word in that sentence that was a preposition was by. So maybe I can finish writing up here. Words that direct or connect. All right. Let's go through the next sentence. So where did I leave off with Jacob? So Peyton Fisher, you're up. Ellis can sit beside Elijah during art class. Do any of those words jump out at you as a direction word? Yes, good job, Peyton. Beside. So, Ellis is a noun. Can sit is all part of the verb. Beside Elijah, Elijah is a noun. During art class. Well, we've got another direction word, right? Actually, during is not a direction word. It might seem like it is, but it's what we call an adverb. It tells us when. So during is not. And then art, adjective describing class. So I'm not going to lie to you, this type of question is definitely, this is the hardest question that you're going to see in your Grammar Simple Solutions book. Because being able to identify a preposition in a sentence is like insanely hard to do unless you know how to do every single part of speech. And that's why I'm kind of going through this slowly, okay? Best guess in third grade, pick a word that is like a direction, all right? Like by or beside. So thank you, DB. Thank you, Fish. Let's move on. Cody, you're up. So Zach received a letter from the mayor. Well, is there any direction words that you can see right off the bat? Maybe you see it, maybe you don't, but the preposition is from. Let's read the sentence and let's figure out each part of speech. So Zach is a noun, right, Cody? It's a person. Received is an action, which means it's a verb. A is an article. A letter is a thing, which means it's a noun. From is a direction, which means it's a preposition. The article. Mayor is a person, which means it's a noun. So in those three sentences, you were able to figure out by, beside, and from are all prepositions. Like I said, tricky question, folks. I'm glad that we did it together. Underline each verb, past, present, or future. What do you think? Patina, Brooks will poke at all the flowers in the vase, or as the fancy people say, the vase. What's Brooks doing? Good. Will poke. Good job, Patina. Will poke. Because it has the little word will, You know, is it happening yesterday, in the past? Is it happening right now? Or is it going to happen in the future? Brooks will poke means future, right? Anytime you see this little word right here, you know it's always going to be future. All right, good job, Patina. Lucas, I competed in the tennis tournament last summer. What's your action word? What is I doing? Competed. Now, look at the ending here, Lucas. Most of the time, if a word ends in ed, and look, it even says last summer, that means what? Past, present, or future? Good, it happened in the past, right? Last one. Bobby. Addison skips rocks in the pond. So what's my verb, Bobby? What's the action? What's Addison doing? Yeah, maybe you like to do this too. I know I do. Skips. She skips rocks in the pond. Is she doing it yesterday in the past? Is she doing it right now in the present? Or is she doing it in the future? Addison skips rocks in the pond. Yeah, she's doing it right now. It's happening in the present. All right, great work, you three. Number 4, underline the helping verb and the main verb. So the helping verb always comes right before the main verb. So, Sophie, let's read the sentence and you tell me the helping and the main verb. You are invited to a party for Mr. R at 2 p.m. on Saturday. Just kidding. I'm not having a party because of the quarantine. What is my helping and my main verb? What are you doing? Good. Good job, Sophie. Are is the helping verb. Remember, am, is, are, was, were, be, being, been, have, has, had. And then what goes along with it? Well, the main verb is invited. That's an action, to invite someone. So you are invited. Great work. Almost done with this page. Non plus fat makes a non-fat latte. Yummy. There's a non-fat latte for you. You see in my screen. Yummy. Mmm. So good. I'm just kidding. There's lots of fat in that. I don't believe in skim milk. It's just watered down milk. Okay. What does non-fat mean? Well, non means it's not. Fat means fat. So not fat. Moving on. Number 6. Let's see. Who's up? Lulu. Which one of those means the same as regulations? So the regulation said that swimmers could not run around the pool. Regulations. What do you think, London? Yes, if you plugged all of them in, rules make sense the most. The rule said that swimmers could not run around. That's what regulations are, rules. So usually we even call them rules and regulations. All right, pronouns, rename antecedents. So this is just a big fancy word for noun that gets replaced. So for instance, Evan, you could replace him with he, and then Evan would become the antecedent, he would be the pronoun. You get it? So let's circle the pronoun, draw an arrow to its antecedent. So Tasha picked out the gift and paid for it. So the pronoun, which one of those is the pronoun? He, she, or it. Good, in this case, Evan, it's it. And it is taking the place of, you guessed it, they already have it underlined, the gift. So we use pronouns because if we didn't, it would sound like this. Tasha picked out the gift and paid for the gift. See how you kind of start to get redundant? You're repeating yourself a lot. So thank goodness we have pronouns. All right, Mr. O'Connell. Read the underlined word. Choose the word or phrase with the stronger shade of meaning. Mark believed he would not be late for dinner. So Mark was positive he would not be late for dinner, or Mark thought. Which one is stronger? What do you think, Jasper? Yeah, I agree. Was positive is a little bit stronger or greater than thought. All right, number 9. This is the ladies. A complex sentence has more than one complete thought. It's two complete thoughts combined into one complex sentence. So you got a simple sentence like Polly waited, and you've got another simple sentence like the puppies woke up. And you can combine them because they're simple by using a conjunction like until. So Polly waited until the puppies woke up. Both of those are sentences all on their own. Polly waited, period, if you wanted to. That would be a complete sentence because it has a subject and a verb. The puppies woke up. Subject, the puppies woke up, the verb. But taking two simple sentences and combining them can make your writing a lot better. It can make it flow better. We do it all the time when we're talking. Every single time you're talking, and I just did it, you use the word and, or, but, until, so, you are basically doing what this question is asking. You're making a complex sentence. So we need to underline the two ideas, the two individual simple sentences, and then we will circle the subordinating conjunction. All right? So girls, Albert can ride his bike when he wears a helmet. Albert can ride his bike when he wears a helmet. Do you hear that there's two sentences in there being connected? Well, why don't we start with the connecting word? Which word connects our two sentences? Good job, girls. When. When. My first sentence, Albert can ride his bike. So go ahead and underline that. My second sentence doesn't have the word when in it. It actually starts with he wears a helmet. Those are two complete sentences that are being connected with a conjunction. With this word right here, it connects them. Legally, it connects them. Albert can ride his bike when he wears a helmet. Great job, ladies. And my gentlemen, finish this off strong, boys. Choose the word that means to give a reply, then use it in a sentence. All right, so if I ask you a question, I want you to give me a reply. That's the same as good, an answer. So let's use the word answer in a sentence. Keep it simple. We don't want to be writing any longer than we have to. Answer the question, boys. I'm running out of space. Okay. Well, that is all I have for you today. Thank you for giving it your all. Thank you for showing up every single day. I really, really hope I get to see you guys later tonight at our powwow at 7 o'clock on Google Meet. Don't forget, just click the link to the Google Meet up there where it says Ritenour 1920, and then it says class code, and then right underneath it says Google Meet. All right, well, I miss you guys. I love you guys. Thank you so much for everyone that sent me birthday wishes yesterday. I got a lot of really cool stuff, and it made a lonely quarantine birthday a lot more fun and exciting. So, all right, hopefully I see you later. If not, peace out. Mr. R is done.